Southern New England's trusted news source, ABC6 News at Noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Back to school or not for some Pawtucket elementary schoolers. Parents got a note last night saying the new Winters Elementary School would not open along with the rest of the city schools today. That's because it wasn't up to safety code when it was checked. ABC6 News reporter Natalie Norrie is live in Pawtucket. She spoke to the mayor about why this all happened. Natalie.
Doreen, I'm outside the Henry J. Winters Elementary School where students were supposed to be back in class for their first day of the new school year, except that didn't happen. And as you said, parents didn't find out till last night, and that's because a statement came out from Pawtucket Mayor Don Grebian saying kids would not be returning to school today because there were still health and safety items in the building that needed to be fixed. Grebian admitting to ABC6 today the last-minute communication to parents was an issue, and there should have been a contingency plan in place in case these delays occurred.
We should have been out last week saying, hey, the pot's not in or we're not going to have it connected. And by the way, we're 3 days out, to give that. So parents are now frustrated, rightfully so, concerned like we are, and going, get up this morning, I don't have any plan for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, what do I do? And that's the challenge. So.
And adding to that challenge, Mayor Grebian says some parents may need to find childcare during the delay, which is also adding to their stress. He adds that there will still be inspections going on this weekend. He's unsure if everything will be wrapped up by then, but the hope is to get the school up and running by next week. We will have more details coming out about this story today at 4 o'clock. Make sure you stick with ABC6 for those updates. For now, reporting live in Pawtucket, Natalie Norrie, ABC6 News.
All right, Natalie, thank you. And an exciting walk through the doors for students at Diamond Regional Voc Tech High School in Fall River this morning. A tiger, the dance team, and cheerleaders welcome students back through the door, and they have a lot more to look forward to. A new school project that was just approved by voters in the 4-member towns. Diamond's principal tells us construction is on track to begin next year, and the new building would then open to students in 2026.
We're bursting at the seams here. The desire for vocational education right now is definitely one of the driving factors of a new school building, but as well as the education we provide. The hands-on training coupled with the academic education that students receive, they leave Diamond ready for the world.
Students in Fall River Public Schools also went back to class today. And as a reminder, as more students go back to school, more speed cameras are back online. Today, Central Falls, Pawtucket, and East Providence cameras are issuing tickets. Providence cameras started on Monday. And as the kids are back in the classroom this week, school safety and inflation are certainly on a lot of parents' minds. ABC6 News reporter Yanni Trigella stopped by a parent and student orientation event this morning. He asked some parents about the rising cost of supplies.
Class is back in session for students across the country.
Definitely a rush, trying to get all the school supplies.
In Coventry, student orientation at the Father John V. Doyle School marks the start of the year, where students get to drop supplies off and meet their teachers ahead of the first day. But this year, inflation affecting parents' plans with sending their kids back to the classroom and playing a big part in back-to-school shopping.
Yeah, I would say I probably spent about 15% more than what I spent last year on school supplies.
Other parents telling ABC6 they had to get creative to find supplies.
Some things are a little scarce, but we used some online sources to get things that we needed.
Along with inflation concerns, school safety at the forefront of issues parents are worried about.
I would like to think we're in a world where we don't really have to worry about that as much, but naturally we really do.
After the tragedy in Uvalde in May, school districts across the country have made safety a priority, upgrading their buildings to keep their classrooms secure. Father John V. Doyle Principal Kevin Poloquin tells us they worked alongside the Coventry Police Department throughout the summer.
They've been coming in, taking tours of the building, kind of noticing anything that might need to be adjusted slightly.
The school also implemented training over the summer to be better prepared in the case of danger.
What the teachers should be doing, what the administration should be doing, what the kids should be doing in the event of emergency like that. And I think that, it makes us as parents feel at ease that these protocols and policies are in place.
Reporting in Coventry, Yanni Trigella, ABC6 News.
All right, all this back-to-school talk. We take a live look outside right now with our sky cam. When you look at this picture, Kelly Bates, it's hard to remember that we started off this day with rain.
Yeah, rain, fog, and thunderstorms in some portions of southern New England. Now look at us. And you know what? open the window. It's nice feeling out there too. So taking a look outside, we're at 82 degrees. We started at about 72, so we've come up 10 from the morning low, and that's all due to the increasing sunshine that we've enjoyed this morning. Our dew points have come down. They were about 10 degrees higher earlier this morning as well. We had tropical dew points, and now they're on their way down in the 60s. So it's getting there in terms of comfort. We had this cold front move through, and that was the reason for all the ruckus, the thunderstorms that rolled along the south coast pre-dawn. And now we are in the sunshine. We've also turned a different wind direction that's going to start to usher in air from the west and northwest, and that's where that drier air mass is going to come from. Now that we're in the afternoon, we're going to do the job of making our own fair weather afternoon clouds. They're just generated through the heating of the day, and they're not going to produce anything, but they'll be puffy and cottony and, you know, the kind that you see on a nice summer day. Once we get to tonight, though, we're going to see a really nice, comfy trend take hold. I'll let you know how long it's going to last, too, coming up in just a couple of minutes. Doreen?
All right, sounds good, Kelly. Thank you. Now, news new at noon today. President Biden is coming back to New England, planning a trip to Boston on September 12th. There aren't a lot of details about the visit, except that he's coming to discuss investments being made under the bipartisan infrastructure law he signed last year. Biden is traveling a lot ahead of the midterm elections, touting his administration's accomplishments. Providence police say a man was shot overnight, but he has non-life-threatening injuries. Police say the shots were fired on Dorr Street, and officers found a 30-year-old man shot in the neck. Police then say they chased the suspect, tasered him, and arrested him. Detectives are still investigating, but again, that victim is expected to be okay. And now to an ABC6 update on a Providence police officer on trial. One of the charges against Officer Jean Lugo has been dropped, the judge removing the disorderly conduct charge during the first day yesterday. He still faces a simple assault charge stemming from an altercation back in June, where he was caught on camera getting into an argument with his political opponent at the time, Jennifer Rourke, which then turned physical. Lugo later dropping out of that state Senate race. The trial is expected to resume on September 6th. And new coronavirus news this afternoon. Updated COVID boosters are coming to the market. The FDA approved shots from both Moderna and Pfizer that are designed to target the Omicron variant. It's the first time updated vaccines have received emergency use authorization in the U.S. Moderna's updated vaccine got emergency use authorization for people age 18 and older. Pfizer's updated vaccine will be used for people age 12 and older. Now the CDC has to sign off. Its advisory committee will vote tomorrow. Still to come here on ABC6 News at noon, the latest election coverage ahead of the September 13th Rhode Island primary. Today, we'll take a look at the candidates running for governor. And later, the new details revealed in an overnight DOJ filing, as new photos are said to reveal some of the documents former President Trump was keeping at Mar-a-Lago. voice your vote as the primary gets closer. We're highlighting key races to help you get ready. Today we're focusing on the Democratic primary for governor. In Rhode Island, 5 candidates are running for the Democratic nomination, including Governor McKee, Secretary of State Nellie Gorbea, Helena Bonanno Folks, Matt Brown, and Luis Daniel Munoz. In the field on the other side of the aisle, not as crowded. Republicans Ashley Kalis and Jonathan Riccitelli are on the ballot. Rhode Island's primary is September 13th. The Massachusetts primary is set for September 6th. In the race for governor of Massachusetts, all eyes are on the Republican primary. Former Massachusetts State Rep Jeff Deal is running against entrepreneur Chris Doughty. As you know, Governor Baker decided not to run at the beginning of the year. The winner of the Republican primary will face Maura Healey in the general election in November. If you'd like to learn more about the upcoming election or read more about the candidates, we have an election guide up on our website. That's ABC6.com. Still to come here on the news at noon, the latest from the Justice Department on what it calls efforts to obstruct its investigation at former President Trump's home. And we'll check in with Kelly Bates for her full forecast right after this. Back now with your national headlines. In a revealing new filing by the Justice Department, the Fed's not holding back, releasing evidence of highly classified material they found. ABC's M. Wynn has the latest on the investigation.
A federal judge in Florida telling lawyers representing former President Trump to clarify why they requested she get involved in his case, seeking to halt the Department of Justice from reviewing the classified documents it seized from Mar-a-Lago and appoint an independent official known as a special master to go through them instead. The judge, a Trump appointee, asking Trump's legal team under what authority they think she can get involved in this national security investigation, which is already being overseen by another federal judge. The judge's response to Trump's filing comes as the National Archives released this letter showing the lengths the government went to retrieve an estimated 700 pages of classified documents and other presidential records Trump allegedly took from the White House to Mar-a-Lago.
Those documents do belong to the National Archives. They do not belong to the president personally.
The letter from the archives details months of back and forth with Trump's lawyers, including an initial batch of classified documents turned over in January and another meeting with Trump's team in June. But this month, the Justice Department had enough, receiving approval from a federal magistrate to have the FBI execute a search warrant on Trump's Mar-a-Lago home to retrieve the materials. Trump has repeatedly attacked the FBI for their search of his home. And tomorrow, the DOJ is expected to present the magistrate judge with their proposed redactions to the affidavit that led that judge to authorize the raid on Mar-a-Lago. It will then be up to the magistrate to decide which, if any, parts of that document should be released to the public. Jay O'Brien, ABC News, Washington.
And now, your ABC6 Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Kelly Bates.
Well, good afternoon, and our afternoon in progress is already quite different than it was earlier this morning. We had this noisy cold front go through, and I say noisy because it did bring a round of thunderstorms that rolled right along the south coast of southern New England. Well, it's long gone, and now we're behind the front, and we're enjoying the air mass that is now being ushered in. Because of all the sunshine, temperatures are warm out here. We're already into the 80s in Providence. We're in the upper 70s from Smithfield right on down to Westerly over to Newport. We have 82 right now in New Bedford. 76 your current temperature out on Block Island. Now, our dew points have also come down a lot. When we started this day, we had dew points that were in the lower to mid 70s. And that's tropical type humidity, no doubt the air you can wear. But now they're starting to come down. In the 60s, it's still just a little muggy out there, but it's certainly a lot better than we were. And these are going to continue to improve as dew points will continue to drop as we bring in this air mass back here where dew points are in the 50s. So that's what we have in store for tonight. In the meantime, we're bringing in air from the west and the northwest. When high pressure moves in to take over here in southern New England, it tends to lead with this northwesterly wind. And that's where all the dry air comes from. So how much rain have we gotten? Well, the bulk that came down this morning, you'll notice where the thunderstorms rolled along the south coast. So not everyone saw precipitation during the overnight. In fact, there's a good chunk of western Kent County that got nothing. But yeah, it should help contribute to further get us out of our debt situation, rainfall debt situation. So here's what's going on. Goodbye to the front, and now we're bringing in high pressure behind that front. Now, the location of this area of high pressure is basically going to determine whether or not we're going to be stuck with the muggies. And how that works is the air goes around this high in a clockwise manner. And that's why when it leads into an area, it leads with a northwesterly wind. A northwesterly wind for us pulls in air directly from Canada. And that's why it's drier in nature. So as long as this area of high pressure is to our left, to the west, we're going to see some really nice, comfortable air. And it's moving slow. So, yeah, we're going to get several days out of this before we start to dial up that humidity. That will happen as we go to Saturday night into Sunday. What brings it back down is another cold front. In fact, this one here at this time, Sunday night into Monday morning, that one has a chance of bringing us yet another round of showers. It's only 30%, but still, we'll take it. We need every drop after all. So our forecast for today, mostly sunny, much less humid. We're headed to highs that should top out around 85. Winds will continue out of the west and the northwest. Real light, though, 5 to maybe 15 miles per hour. Heading overnight tonight, it's going to be very comfortable in terms of humidity, and temperatures are going to be running about 10 degrees cooler. So if you wanted to sleep with the window open and let Mother Nature cool your room, I think you'll find a nice benefit from it. So our forecast for tomorrow has a lot of sunshine right from the start. We're looking at very comfortable conditions, very warm though, with temperatures topping out around 82, but our average high is actually closer to 80. So it will actually be, well, I guess kind of normal right on the button. We're going to see really nice air remain in place for Friday. Saturday, we start to move in air from a different direction, the southwest, and that will cause for a gradual re-increase in humidity for Sunday. The cold front comes through Sunday night into Monday, giving us our next chance of showers. And temperatures are not expected to spike during this stretch. If anything, will be average or slightly cooler than that. Doreen?
All right, Kelly, thanks. Still to come here on ABC6 News at noon, the People's Princess. Remembering Diana 25 years after her death, how her sons are marking the day. Well, it is hard to believe. It has been 25 years since Princess Diana's death in Paris. ABC's Maggie Rulli has more on how her sons, Prince William and Harry, are carrying on her legacy.
25 years ago, Princess Diana's death shocked the world and rocked the British monarchy. She is remembered. Flowers and tributes at her former home, Kensington Palace, and at the Alma Bridge in Paris, the scene of her tragic death. Her brother, Charles Spencer, posting a poignant photo of the flag flying at half-mast over her ancestral home, Althorpe, where she is buried. Her sons, we are told, are marking the day privately with their families.
Today is obviously a really difficult day for both brothers, and it is poignant that now they're not on good terms. They don't have each other to lean on in the same way that I'm sure they have done in previous years.
Harry spoke last week about how he wanted to spend the day.
I want it to be a day filled with memories of her incredible work and love for the way that she did it. I want it to be a day to share the spirit of my mum with my family, with my children who I wish could have met her.
The princes talk about Granny Diana to their children, and both of her boys keep her spirit alive in the causes they champion and in how they do it. Harry literally walking in his mother's footsteps, continuing her anti-landmine work in Africa. William taking to the streets to sell magazines to help the homeless, saying, "I was 11 when I first visited a homeless shelter with my mother, who in her own imitable style was determined to shine a light on an overlooked, misunderstood problem." The fascination with the People's Princess enduring, now reaching a new generation.
I'm sure we all know Princess Diana's iconic black sheep sweater.
Her life and death depicted on the big and small screen.
The greatest highlight has been, well, meeting all of you.
We're seeing more now than ever before Diana's story being retold around the world. So there's never really been a more important time to remind people of who she really was. And I think that's something that's very important to William and Harry.
On the 20th anniversary of their mother's death, William and Harry announced a statue to be made in honor of their mother's legacy, and it was unveiled right here at Kensington Palace. They also said that going forward, they would mark this day privately. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, London.
And still to come here on the news at noon. Break out your flannel, grab that pumpkin latte. We have details on a local corn maze that's opening this week. And Kelly has another look at your afternoon forecast right after this. Well, finally this afternoon, as we turn the calendar to September tomorrow, Escobar Farm in Portsmouth is already set for fall. Their corn maze is opening for the season Friday. This year's 8-acre maze celebrates Field of Dreams. You can see in this picture here as the words health, faith, love, success, and happy. It's open Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays until November, plus Labor Day and Columbus Day. 10 until 6.
Cool.
Already talking about fall activities, Kelly.
Right?
We have one more day of August.
I know.
And it's
I
a
know.
good one.
I know.
Yes.
Yeah, much improved. Definitely over the past couple of days where we had to deal with that high humidity. Thanks to that morning cold front, we have much better conditions in terms of humidity. It's going to remain comfortable as well for Thursday and Friday too. So I guess that's the bonus. Temperatures will be seasonable. It will be comfortable during the overnights as lows will be dropping into the 50s as we head toward the weekend. The holiday weekend looks to start with dry conditions for Saturday, but Sunday we will be bringing in some clouds late in the day. There's a chance of some showers developing Sunday night into Monday. That's a 30% chance of showers as it stands now for the holiday on Monday. But as of now, a pretty decent late summer week.
Yeah, really nice out there now. All right, Kelly, thank you. And thank you for joining us for the news at noon. The news continues first at 4. Have a great day, everybody.